Pro Football Weekly is looking at the top breakout running backs in fantasy football this year, and it breaks down into a few categories that we saw from last year that maybe we could put towards this season. First up is kind of that LeGarrette Blount long shot, a guy you didn't expect to happen. We know there's no rookie free agents right now, but some of the other rookies that were actually drafted may fit that bill. We know about Mark Ingram and Ryan Williams, and some other guys also.
I think DeLon Carter could end up being a very good goal line back for the Colts. They really haven't had that kind of big physical back in a while. Roy Halou, a guy who fits that zone stretch scheme that they run in Washington. He could maybe beat out Ryan Terang for a starting spot. And Daniel Thomas, for years it's been Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown down there. I think he could make a real big impact in Miami. The next category we're looking at is kind of that leap forward. We saw Arian Foster at the end of 2009, took a huge step last year. A couple guys who may be able to do that. C.J. Spiller up in Buffalo and Ryan Matthews in San Diego.
Yeah, I think both these guys we were expecting it from as rookies last year. It didn't really happen. Spiller barely saw the field. Matthews came on late, but really, I think this year could be a 1,300-yard year. He breaks out and becomes the top back many thought he'd be last year. Another category is kind of that afterthought, like Peyton Hillis was, who had started and hadn't really gotten enough starting nod, but finally got it last year and broke through. We'll saw it maybe with James Starks this year.
Yeah, the way Starks ran the football in the playoffs, I think, was super impressive. Many people assume that Ryan Grant's just going to get his starting spot back, but the way Starks ran the football in the playoffs, they have to find a big role for him in 2011. The next category, that seamless transition, we're talking about like guys like Ryan Westbrook handing off, so to speak, to LaShawn McCoy. Sean Green might get that same kind of thing with Damian Tomlinson.
Similar to some of those guys we heard earlier that we thought would break out last year. We thought maybe Sean Green would do that with Thomas Jones leaving. It didn't happen. LT got the bulk. This year, expect to see Sean Green really take off. And finally, another category is kind of that Darren McFadden role, where it's finally living up to the hype that we expected for years and finally coming through. This year, I see it with no Sean Moreno.
Yeah, if the Broncos don't make a move at running back, if they don't bring a D'Angelo Williams in or somebody else, Moreno is probably the most talented back they have, and we know John Fox loves to run the football. I think by default, he's the guy there.
Yeah, he really hasn't gotten enough carries or been healthy enough. Maybe this is the year he finally does it. That is a look at the breakout candidates at running back for fantasy football this year. What do you guys think? Let us know. ProFootballWeekly.com.